Yeah.
Mr. Marks, can you hear me? Mr. Chair, can we take a brief recess and while we'll try to figure this technical difficulties out?
Good idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, were you sorry, Michael, were you asking if I can hear you? Or Mark, were you asking if I can hear you? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Brian.
Okay, I'm not sure Tucson can hear us.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to try to figure out.
Okay.
Put on silent.
Hey, Sean, you might want to go back on mute.
Okay.
Let's open it up again.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick up where I left off. We were talking about next month's case is in July. July 30th is the date for the next case. And if I can just get a count of how many members will be able to attend the hearing. So I did get a confirmation from Mr. Dawson and Ms. Paulus. Mr. Marks, will you be able to attend the hearing? Mr. Marks, can you hear us? No. Ms. Schubert, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Are you able to attend the hearing on July 30th?
yeah, I am.
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Marks, are you able to hear us? It's a speaker. I'm going to go ahead and get started on today's case discussion. So today we have case C1025-05, the Coinless Laundromat at Owners Tucson St. Mary's Plaza LLC. It's located at 1513 West St. Mary's Road. And it's seen.
Hello?
Mr. Marks, I can hear you.
Mr. Castro?
Yes. Are you able to hear me? Can I get the next slide? So today's case is, it's an existing laundromat at a shopping center. What they are doing is expanding the facility into the next adjacent suite. The applicant is before the board requesting a variance to exceed the minimum lot size, the maximum square footage that's allowed for a laundromat, which is 3,000 square feet. The adjacent suite is a little over 200 or around 900 square feet. So that would put the laundry facility over the 3,000 square foot threshold. So the applicants are here before the board to request a variance to allow that to exceed the maximum allowed for the square footage. In the comments that we have received for this project, we've received 3 approvals, 0 protests. I'd like to go ahead and open it up for questions at this time.
Mr. Castro, I have just a couple of questions. Do you know why there is a restriction of 3,000 square feet? Does it apply to any use in the C1 or only to laundromats?
Ms. Paulus and members of the board, I did some research and I could not find any history on why there was a restriction placed. We did have an internal staff meeting prior to this public hearing, and it could have been a distinction between a more industrial type of laundry service versus a commercial service where it's coin operated. So it's possible that maybe the threshold and the reason why it's limited to 3,000 square feet, but I can't confirm that for sure.
And I have one second question. the way the variance is worded, it says that it would be allowed to exceed the maximum allowable floor area as shown on the submitted plans. So does that, by definition, give you the 3,870 square foot limitation for this variance? Because the way it's written, it almost sounds like they could expand to any size.
So it does allow them to proceed with the project as it is proposed. If the board desires, they can always place a condition on the limits of the square footage, not to exceed the what's proposed.
Okay, thank you.
However, hey, this is Brian Morris, the architect
Oh.
and
Mr.
applicant.
Morris?
Yes.
This is a study session. It's only between staff and the board.
Gotcha. Understood.
Mr. Castro, this is Mike Marks.
Yes, Mr. Marks?
I just want to let you know that I have finally gotten audio, maybe 1 minute ago. I've been here in the meeting for maybe 20 minutes or longer, and there was no audio, and it was not any adjustment that I made. Something was wrong with the system that preventing me to hear, but I can hear now. I don't know how much you've accomplished with respect to this item already, but I just want you to know that I am just beginning to, or have begun to hear what you all are saying.
Thank you, Mr. Marks, for confirming that you're able to hear us now. I started out the study session. I talked about what case is coming up for next month, which would be July 30th. Essentially, it's a residential case seeking a variance for an existing guest house. I asked the board members if they would be able to make that meeting. And so is that a meeting that you would be able to attend? It's on July 30th? You don't have to answer me
I
now.
can't answer that at this moment. I will get in touch with you shortly, as soon as I'm able to.
That's fine. And then I just started into the discussion for today's case. Real briefly, it's the Coinless Laundromat located at existing shopping center. It's just under 3,000 square feet currently. What they're proposing to do is expand into the adjacent suite. That'll put them over the 3,000 square foot maximum for laundromat. And so that's what the variance is that they are requesting.
Okay.
And to date, we've received 3 approvals, 0 protests, and we just opened it up for discussion.
Well, let me ask you one question. Is there some history to that number 3,000 square feet? Was there any reasoning behind the limitation being 3,000 square feet? And if so, is that reasoning expressed in the code in any way or any place?
Mr. Marks and members of the board, yes, Ms. Paulus just asked that question, probably you did not hear. But essentially, I did do some research to see where that 3,000 square foot number came from. And I cannot find any history on that. We did have an internal meeting prior to the public hearing. And we thought maybe that it had to do with the distinction between a coin operated facility versus a more industrial use that you would see maybe supporting a medical service or the hotel industry. So we think maybe that has to do with the distinction between the two, but I cannot confirm that for sure.
So the thinking is that the 3,000 would have related to only the coin operated laundromat, not the more industrial. And well, this may be a question the petitioner can answer, but I'll ask it of you as well. is this proposed as merely a coin-operated operation?
So to answer your first part, this is not confirmed that it's the distinction between the two. So I just want to make that clear. This is just staff talking amongst each other, maybe thinking about what the reason was for the 3,000 square feet. And then in regards to the second part, can you repeat that?
Well, I just asked whether the proposed laundromat, the portion that exists, as well as the portion that would be part of the expansion, would that all be coin operated?
Yes, the expansion is really just for the dryers and to accommodate a new fluff and fold service, drop-off service.
So this is not classified even in its expanded format as a quote, more industrialized laundromat.
That is correct.
Okay. All right, I think I am caught up.
Do we have any other questions from the board?
I have none.
Okay, we can go ahead and get started with the public hearing.
All right, we'll close the study session then. Okay. Yes, I'll ask. You want to start? Thank you. I was going to ask that question. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Board of Adjustments meeting for June 25th, 2025. May we have a roll call, please?
Bruce Dawson,
Here.
Miranda Schubert,
Here.
Irma Duran, Bonnie Paulus,
Present?
Michael Marks.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Tucson's Board of Adjustments. This meeting is being recorded. By joining, you are giving consent for this meeting to be recorded. An introduction of each case will be made by staff. At the conclusion of staff's presentation, the applicant or the applicant's representative will have the opportunity to speak. For the record, please tell the board your name and address and state your request. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation, other persons wishing to speak in favor of the request may come forward and state their support. When called by the chair of the board, those wishing to speak in opposition to the applicant's request may come forward and state their protest. The chair may then allow the applicant the opportunity for a brief rebuttal. The chair will then close the public hearing and open it up for discussion by the board members. At the conclusion of the board's discussion, a motion will be made, and if seconded, will then be voted upon. All presentations today must be made directly to the board and not to staff or members of the audience. All presentations to the board must also be only on the items brought before the board. Presentation on matters unrelated to the request will not be heard. The discussion of the Board of Adjustments may be appealed to the Superior Court of Pima County by filing a complaint for special action with the Pima County Superior Clerk's Office within 30 days of the board's decision. For additional information on this filing process, please contact the Superior Court Clerk's Office or an attorney after today's public hearing. If you are going to give testimony today, please be brief and to the point. Repetition of testimony already given by other witnesses will not be necessary. The chair may invoke a time limit if deemed necessary. Before you testify, please remember to sign the roster sheet on the clipboard of the podium. If you are joining us remotely, please state your name and address for the record. All testimony to the board must be given under oath. If you are going to speak or think you may speak today, please stand at this time and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. A reminder, please turn all cell phones off to the silent mode. And if you are joining us remotely, please be sure to mute yourself and turn your camera off unless you are addressing the board. Mr. Castro, please call our first case.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. Our case today is C10 25-05 Coinless Laundromat, Tucson St. Mary's Plaza LLC, 1513 West St. Mary's Road, C1. The applicant's tenant space is an approximately 2,895 square foot laundry facility located within an existing shopping center zone C1 commercial. The applicant is proposing to expand the facility into adjoining vacant space. The applicant is requesting the following variance. 1, allow the laundromat to exceed the maximum allowable floor area of 3,000 square feet for a laundry facility, all as shown on the submitted plans. Planning and Development Services staff has no objection to the applicant's requested variance. It is the opinion of staff that there are special circumstances applicable to the property and that the requested variance would not constitute a grant of special privileges inconsistent with the limitations upon other properties in the vicinity and zone and would not be detrimental to public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements in the neighborhood. Today, we have received a total of 3 written approvals and 0 written protests. For the record, the board members have been provided a copy of the comments. Mr. Chair and members of the board, this concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Castro?
None.
You're hearing none. All right, I will open the meeting to the applicant or the applicant's representative to speak on the request.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Brian. I'm not sure what more to add to the conversation regarding the item, but just I think most everyone is aware that this is a retail space in a retail shopping center that has a number of tenants, retail tenants in these buildings. The size of these tenant spaces, ebb and flow over the course of time as tenants come in and leave. The suites themselves grow in size based on the need of the business. The landlord of the owners of the building are always looking to make sure the spaces are leased and have the right business mix in their space there. So when there's vacant space, of course, the landlord is looking for somebody to fill it. And the existing businesses that are there are oftentimes also looking for opportunity to expand their business, which is the case with our laundromat. And so, the space next door became available, and we look to move into that space, expand our existing footprint there because we've determined there is a need there in that particular part of town through some studies that my client has performed. And so we think we could serve the community with the expansion, creating a bigger space for people to, do their laundry at. We're also providing a new service there that's not currently available, which is a drop-off service. Folks can drop off their bundle of laundry, leave it for the day and attendants will then wash and fold and then they can come pick up. So that's part of why this expansion is occurring, as well as to bring that new service in there. So just like every other business in that particular area, we're looking for the opportunity to expand and move into existing suites as they become available, and you know, meet our business practice.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant?
I have one question.
Bonnie?
For the record, can you explain what a coinless laundromat is in contrast to what we're used to with using coins for doing our laundry?
Sure. Yeah. So they're basically the same thing. What the difference is technology is different today. So we go back 10, 15 years and we would bring, you know, a pocket full of change and we do our laundries and plug coins into the machine. The machines are the same as they were back then. However, like I say, technology's changed and they don't take coins anymore. It's just become a little more cumbersome to manage coins. The technology is there that, you know, the users can get a card out of a machine there on site. They'll put in dollar bills into a machine to get a card, or they'll put a credit card into a machine to get a coinless card is what we call it. It looks just like a credit card. And they use that card at the laundry machine itself. Those cards are preloaded with dollar value. They put those cards in the machine and that gives them the ability to run the machine. So it operates just like a coin operated machine, but it's without the coins. Really no difference in the way the both are used.
Thank you for that. I have one more question. How many employees do you employ at this facility?
I'm going to let the owners answer that. I know there's a handful there, but I will let Sean jump in and answer that.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sean, one of the owners. Yeah, we'll have a total of 3 people employed, normally one person at a time on shift. So it's fully intended, you know, basically open to close, which gives us the ability to, you know, accept people's clothes and return them when they're done. So it's a very, very simple but pleasing way to run a store. Yeah.
Will you be expanding the number of employees with your new fluff and fold provision that you're going to provide?
We, if business grows enough, we would, yes. We start out with just the 1 employee, but some of our other locations have 2 employees at a time. But that's really the limit.
The card is good at any store.
Yeah. You know, because we have 3 other locations or 2 other locations in Tucson. So, you know, what's nice too is customers can go from store to store and use the same card to wash at all the stores, get the same service, so forth.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for the applicants?
This is Mike Marks. I don't know that this is for the applicant. I'd just like to ask Mr. Castro to confirm that the information we were provided, I think maybe this morning, which shows that the owner has the support of 3 properties within the notification area and the objections of none, whether that is still the current number.
Mr. Marks and members of the board, yes, that is correct. That's the current count.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I have no questions for the applicant.
Right. Anyone else wishing to ask questions? Okay, hearing none, I will like to open the floor to anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application. Hearing none, I will open the floor now to anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to this proposal. Hearing none, I will now close the public hearing to this case. All right. Open the discussion to the board.
Mr. Chair, considering that this is a request to expand into an adjacent space and will only require some interior changes, and because there is really no other facility in the nearby area that provides this kind of service, I'd like to move that we grant the following variance in case C1025-05 to allow the laundromat to exceed the maximum allowable floor area of 3,000 square feet for a laundry facility as specified and shown on the submitted plans. The evidence that was presented this afternoon shows that there are special circumstances which are not self-imposed and which are applicable to the property and support the granting of the requested variances. As set forth in the staff report, Board of Adjustment findings 1 through 7, and specifically item number 3, that the variance granted is subject to such conditions that it shall not grant any special privileges inconsistent with the limitations on other properties, that the granting of the variance is not detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other properties or improvements in the neighborhood where it's located, and that the proposed variance will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent properties or diminish or impair property values in the neighborhood. The variance will not be material detrimental to the public welfare and is the minimum necessary to provide relief.
I have a motion on the floor. I need it seconded.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? None. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed are none. The motion carries. So thank you very much and good luck with your project. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. That's it, I guess. I guess we can, is there any other business?
Mr. Chair, we don't have any other business. Thank you.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.